Hey guys, today we're making Bath Fizzy sachets. They are just a wonderful moisturizing soak for adults. Your kids can use them too, but you'll get the most out of them. We make them in a bunch of different scents and they all complement our soap. So let's get to it. And a Bath Fizzy is also known as a bath bomb. Bath bombs are a moisturizing, relaxing tub soak. I package mine in little fabric bundles, little tag on there that gives the ingredients and what scent it is, how to use them. You basically pull the paper tag off, throw the whole thing in the bathtub, and relax as long as the water stays hot, basically. I do not use the Bath Bomb name because that is a trademark name, and you'll notice every craft show that you go to now, there's somebody selling bath bombs. I guarantee you none of those people are using the name properly. So I changed my name once that was brought to my attention, 20 years ago. I changed the name of my bath bombs to Bath Fizzies or Bath Sachets, and that's what they continue to be called. So let's get started making them. Now, Bath Fizzies are a blend of baking soda and citric acid. And I'm going to be making just 2 batches of my Lilac bath bombs. And I to be honest with you, I kind of eyeball the amount of citric acid and baking soda I use. That's the citric acid that goes in. And citric acid is basically orange peels. It's the acid from orange peels. It's used in lots of food products. It is a natural food grade ingredient. And baking soda and the chemical reaction when the 2 of those substances hit water is that the product fizzes, which breaks up and then fizzes a little bit more. And that's kind of what disperses the oils through your bathtub. And it gives you just a wonderful scent. So I break up all of the little lumps that's in the citric acid and the baking soda. And then I mix those up just to get them pretty well incorporated. I'm going to do a lot more stirring before the mix is done. So next I add, you can use pretty much any oils or butters in these. I personally use apricot kernel oil. And I kind of know my recipe from heart here. And that's the apricot kernel oil in. And then, of course, everything I make has shea butter in it. So I've melted shea butter. And that is the shea butter. And I'm not real fussy about getting every last drop out. But, once this sits for a minute, we'll get a couple more drops out of it. So today is Lilac Day. So let me get over here and get my lilac fragrance oil. And it just takes a little bit of this to scent the 20 or so Bath Fizzies that we're making today. And then just simply mixing this up. And this is probably a pretty important step because you just make sure that everything is dispersed, especially the fragrance. If the fragrance is in one blob, that can cause issues on your skin before it kind of disperses over the top of the water. So Get that oil off that spoon. Clean hands, guys. Yes, you can use gloves. I think you kind of know my thing by now. I'm not the greatest when it comes to safety issues. I've been doing this for so blasted long that I'm not concerned with. This product is going to be in your bathtub on your skin, and so why wouldn't it be safe for me to touch it now? Hello. So that is going to be pretty good. I try to, get the big darker colored, like this one right here. That's a blob of oil. So I'm going to try to smush that down and get it so it's dispersed through the mix. Okay, and now I'm going to change locations and go over to where I have set up to actually measure these out and get them into the fabric. So stay tuned. Okay guys, I'm getting ready to start packaging the little sachets, and the first thing I do is prepare all of my little labels. I've already printed them, so I'm just cutting them, and then I do a hole punch with a ribbon to secure the tag. There's lots of ways you could do that. I sell these on the website in packs of 5, and those I put in a takeout container. So you could put, this is the takeout container that I use, and that is, oh gosh, it's hard to read. I get these from Uline, and I think this is the 8 ounce. Could be wrong. It's the medium size of the ones that they have. But you could simply put your information on the front of the takeout container and put the little a little information sheet of whatever kind you want to use, or attach it to the bail of the takeout container. Lots of different ways. I also sell giganto containers of bath bombs, and this fits like 40 or 50, I can't remember. I sell a couple of these at Christmas time, usually assorted ones, but I can do whatever you want. So anyway, so we've got our little labels, and then I hole punch. I go through a lot of hole punches because I typically tend to overload, and that kind of ruins the cutter on it, or it breaks. Anyway, so that's our little labels. I've cut my ribbon to the size that I want it, and then basically I'm putting the fabric I'm using, and I basically go to Walmart and buy whichever fabric I think fits the particular fizzing I'm doing. Today it is lilac, so it's a nice deep purple. Zero my scale, and then into each of the fabric squares I'm putting 1 ounce of the product, and sometimes I get lucky and get it on the first hit. And then this is the hardest part, as you can see, getting the little bundles into the size I want. And then we're tying off the ribbon, and that becomes the Bath Fizzy. I used to try to get these really tight, but they actually dissolve better in the water if they're a little looser. Sometimes as these sit outside, they get really hard, and you kind of have to break it up to just, hit it with something, a can, a shoe, whatever. break it up so it will dissolve easier in water. But you can just kind of, once it's in the water, massage the little baggie and the product will all eventually get wet. Some people want to know why I do mine this way. As many of you know, I started in Florida and did mainly outdoor craft shows that were very humid, and I used to form them into different shapes, usually like hearts, and they were much larger, like 4-ounce heart shapes in different colors. And what happens is, as those sit out in the air, the humidity actually makes them poof up, so they kind of look like cow patties. All your hard work that you did to shape them into beautiful shapes is gone in the space of a couple hours. So I started doing much smaller ones. It's enough product to do one bath. If you get really crazy, this is my favorite combination. And keep in mind, I've got tons of them. So I can do a bath with my favorite citrus splash and the oatmeal milk and honey, kind of like a dreamsicle type scent. But you could do all kinds of things. This would be awesome. The lavender, all natural lavender, and the all natural spa blend, that would be awesome together. Good nighttime bath idea. But anyway, so that's kind of my little take on it, and I'm going to repeat this, for the 20 or so. Sometimes that's a few less, but basically 20 times of scooping these up. And I generally throw a movie on. I'm out in the soap room, so I throw a movie on the TV and have at it. So I will do a few more on camera here, and then I'm going to shut off the camera and I'll come back to you a little bit later. Okay, so I have finished my batch of Bath Fizzies. I've got one more scent to do to get ready for the show that's coming up. Yes, a show during COVID. Unbelievable. It's actually a pop-up shop, but anyway. So these are going to go into the container. And they'll go on to the shelf for now, and stay tuned. I'll show you how they're used.